there's this weird, almost tragic moment that happens when someone actually speaks English to you in real life. Your brain, it freezes like a cheap laptop. Your heart starts doing gymnastics. And all those years, all those hours you've spent learning this language, gone. Poof. Like your motivation every Monday morning. The person smiles, says, "Hey, how's it going?" And you panic. You dig deep into your soul, pull out every piece of textbook English you've ever memorized, and proudly say, "I am fine, thank you." Yeah, that line. The one that makes you sound like an NPC from a 90s video game that no one wants to play. Look, I get it. You've been trained to be correct, polite, safe. But guess what? Real people don't talk like that. Not at 7 a.m., not when they're ordering coffee, not when they're living their actual lives. They speak in pieces, in sounds, in real words that feel alive. And you've been stuck sounding like an IELTS essay with no emotions. Welcome to Monday English Podcast, where we stop pretending English is about perfection and start using it like real people do. Here, we roast your excuses, bury your grammar fears, and remind you that speaking badly is still better than not speaking at all. This episode, it's for everyone who's tired of sounding like Google Translate on low battery. We're going to smash the robot voice. We're going to speak like humans. Like now. Ready? Don't say, "Yes, I am." Just nod and say, "Let's go." Like a person, not a textbook. So how did we end up here? How did we go from curious, excited English learners to mumbling polite nonsense like, "I am fine, thank you," every time someone talks to us? Let me guess. It started in school, or maybe in one of those Learn English in 30 Days books that teach you how to introduce your uncle's profession before teaching you how to ask for a spoon. From day one, you were told to memorize, not understand, not feel. Just repeat after me. Good job. Gold star. Move on. And so you did. You memorized the correct way to greet someone, the correct way to ask for directions, the correct way to talk about the weather. But guess what? Language doesn't work like that. People don't come with subtitles. Conversations don't follow scripts. And no one is going to say, "Hello, my name is Sarah. What is your name?" unless they're trying to sell you something, or they're a ghost stuck in 2003. You've been taught to treat English like a performance. You think if you say the wrong word, the audience will boo. You'll get a bad grade. Someone will shake their head and say, "That's incorrect grammar." But here's the truth. Real English, the kind people use in messy, noisy, everyday life, is full of broken grammar, half-finished sentences, mismatched tenses, interruptions. It's chaotic, but it's real. It's how people connect, how they express feelings, how they survive awkward silences. And right now, your English sounds like it's afraid to live. Let me tell you a story. A girl once walked into a coffee shop ready to practice her English. She'd been studying for years, knew all the polite phrases, had a little notebook with common questions. She ordered a drink, nailed it. Then the barista asked, "Want to grab a seat or take it to go?" And she froze. Because that sentence, not in the book. It wasn't, "Would you like your drink for here or to take away?" which is what she memorized. No, it was casual, real, human, and it broke her brain. She ended up whispering yes and sitting down, with a coffee meant for takeaway. It's funny now, but it's also a bit sad, because that girl isn't rare. That girl is you. That girl is me. That girl is every learner who was taught how to pass an exam, but not how to survive a chat with a barista who's just trying to do their job. You've spent years learning how to speak correctly, but no one taught you how to speak naturally. No one told you it's okay to say kinda instead of kind of, or gimme instead of give me. No one told you that real English lives in contractions and mistakes and tone. That sounding real is more important than sounding like page 17 of your grammar workbook. And no one, literally no one ever said, "Wow, you sound just like a TOEIC test." That's hot. Here's a brutal fact. You're overtrained in structure and undertrained in survival. You know how to write a paragraph about your last vacation, but not how to casually say, "I need a minute," when someone's rushing you. You've learned to describe your family tree, but not how to say, "Nah, I'm good," when someone offers you more food. The textbook gave you language. It just forgot to give you life. And let's be real. That textbook voice of yours, it's a wall. It pushes people away. Because when someone hears you say, "I am very happy to make your acquaintance," they don't think, "Oh, wow, what lovely grammar." They think, "Are you okay? Why are you talking like that?" People don't connect with perfect sentences. They connect with tone, emotion, rhythm. You know, the stuff you skipped because you were busy memorizing irregular verbs. So it's time. Time to take off the training wheels. Time to speak like someone who wants to be understood, not like someone writing a thesis about sandwich preferences. You're allowed to say, "Hey." You're allowed to say, "What's up?" You're allowed to sound like a human being, not like a grammar app from 2011. This isn't about being lazy. It's about being alive. Real English is messy, imperfect, beautiful in a rough kind of way, like a well-worn hoodie or your friend's bad haircut. And you know what? That's the English that gets remembered. The English that builds friendships, that starts conversations, that actually means something. Because "I am fine, thank you" never started a great story. But kinda tired. Work's been wild, just might. So here's the question. Do you want to sound correct, or do you want to sound alive? Let's be honest, the biggest scam in your English journey? Thinking that speaking and writing are the same thing. They're not even close. Writing is slow, careful, polished. You get time to think, delete, rewrite, look up a word, panic, drink coffee, and then finally press send. Speaking? Speaking is brutal. It's now or never. No backspace, no pause, just words flying out of your mouth while your brain tries to keep up. And yet, here you are trying to speak like you write. No wonder it feels like someone tied your tongue in a knot. Here's what they didn't tell you. Spoken English is messy. It's lazy. It's real. People don't walk around saying, "Would you like to accompany me to the cinema this evening?" They say, "Hey, want to catch a movie?" People don't say, "I am feeling rather exhausted today." They say, "I'm beat." You see the difference? One sounds like an old textbook. The other sounds like someone you actually want to talk to. And you've been stuck in textbook mode for years. Every time you open your mouth, it's like your grammar teacher is standing behind you. Breathing down your neck, whispering, "Don't forget subject-verb agreement." But here's the thing, people don't care about your grammar. They care about your message, about your vibe. You don't need to sound perfect. You need to sound alive. Let me give you an example. Imagine this. You're at a party. Someone hands you a drink and says, "So, what do you do?" Now the textbook version of you starts sweating. You think, okay, present simple tense, job vocabulary, polite tone, and you say, "I'm working in marketing department of a big company which is located in the center of the city." And just like that, the conversation dies. Because no one talks like that. What you should have said, "I do marketing for a company downtown." Boom. Simple, natural, human, another one. Someone asks, "How was your weekend?" You panic. You think of saying, "It was very good. I went to the park and I had fun." And sure, that's not wrong, but it's stiff, like a robot trying to sound casual. Instead, just say, "Pretty good. Hung out at the park for a bit." Feel the difference? It's like switching from black and white to color. The problem is you're afraid of being too simple. You think simple means stupid. It doesn't. It means clear. It means real. It means people actually want to talk to you. Look, no one's impressed by how many big words you know if they can't understand you. And trust me, no one's sitting there thinking, "Wow, I wish this person used more advanced vocabulary while telling me about their weekend." They're thinking, "Can we just talk like normal people?" And here's the fun part. Native speakers, they break grammar rules all the time. They mix up tenses. They start sentences and never finish them. They say things like, I was like, no way. And you know what I mean? Even when you don't. They're not perfect. They're just fluent. And there's a big difference. Fluency isn't about being correct. It's about being comfortable. You're stuck because you're chasing correctness instead of connection. You think every sentence has to be an essay. It doesn't. It just has to land. It just has to make the other person go, yeah, I get you. That's it. That's the goal. So, what do you do now? You unlearn the crap. You stop trying to sound like the back of your English workbook. You start listening to how people actually talk. Not in movies where everyone's dramatic, but in real life. On the street, in cafes, in YouTube vlogs where someone's just ranting about their day. That's the English you need. The kind that breathes. And when you practice, don't practice like you're preparing for a speech. Practice like you're gossiping with a friend. Like you're complaining about the weather. Like you're telling someone how tired you are because you stayed up watching Netflix again. Practice being you, just in English. Remember, no one's giving you a grade for how proper you sound. They just want to talk, to laugh, to share something. And you're more than ready for that. You've just been too polite, too careful, too stuck in perfect English mode. Time to switch it off. Time to get messy. Time to speak like you mean it, not like you memorized it. So next time someone says, "What's up?" please don't say, "I am fine. Thank you." And you say, "Not much. Just chilling." Say, "Busy day, man." Say anything that sounds like you, because that's who they want to hear from. Not your textbook. You. Let's talk about the phrases you've been carrying around like they're some kind of treasure. You know the ones. The phrases that sound nice, polite, proper, the ones you learned in school and thought, yeah, this makes me sound smart. Spoiler, they don't. They make you sound like you time traveled here from an old English textbook that no one reads anymore, and it's time you let them go. First up, our all-time favorite. I am fine, thank you, and you. Look, this one's basically the poster child for dead conversations. You say it, and the other person already knows you've got nothing else. It's polite, sure, but it's lifeless. No one's ever been excited to talk to someone who says that. It's like walking into a room and flipping the light switch, but nothing happens. Darkness, silence, awkwardness. Now here's another gem. Nice to meet you. Okay, don't panic. This one's not completely useless. It's just overused and underfelt. You say it, but do you mean it? Or are you just pressing play on your default settings? People can tell. And it's not just the words, it's the way you say them. Like you're checking off a list. Say it if you want, but maybe follow it up with something real, something human. Nice to meet you. I've heard a lot about you. Or nice to meet you. Love your jacket. Anything that proves you're awake, not just running on autopilot. Let's not forget the classic. Do you like music? Wow. Groundbreaking. Who doesn't? This is the kind of question that feels safe, sure, but it goes nowhere. It's like throwing a ball and not caring if someone catches it. If you're going to ask about music, make it count. What's a song you can't stop playing right now? Boom. Now we're talking. Now we've got something to laugh about, argue about, connect over. And please, for the love of all things fluent, stop saying, "What is your hobby?" You're not filling out a form. You're trying to start a conversation, not apply for a visa. Try something more alive. What do you usually do after work? Or, what's something fun you've done recently? That's how people talk. That's how you get past the surface. Here's the thing. These phrases aren't wrong. They're just dead. They've been said too many times by too many people who didn't mean them. And you? You're better than that. You don't need to hide behind safe, boring sentences. You can risk being real. You can risk being interesting. Because let's be honest, the people you remember aren't the ones who followed the script. They're the ones who made you laugh, who surprised you, who said something a little weird, a little unexpected. That's what sticks. Not where are you from? Not what's your favorite color? No one's writing songs about the person who asked them if they like pizza. You've been taught to play it safe, to stick to the script. But safe is forgettable. Safe is boring. And I know you're scared of making mistakes. You're scared of sounding stupid. But here's the truth. Sounding boring is worse. People forgive mistakes. They forget boring. And while we're here, let me say this. If you're still using I very like, please stop. Right now. I know why you do it. It feels like the right structure. It makes sense in your head. But it's wrong. Painfully wrong. It's I really like, or I like it a lot. And yes, I know you've heard someone say it. Probably another learner. Probably someone who is just as confused. Don't follow them. Don't follow them. Don't make their mistakes your home. So what do you say instead of all these dusty phrases? You say what you mean. You say what you feel. You stop pretending you're in a classroom and start acting like you're in a cafe, talking to someone you actually want to know. You let yourself be a little casual, a little messy, a little real. And if you're thinking, but I need these phrases, they're safe, they help me survive. I get it. Survival is important, but you're not here just to survive English. You're here to live in it, to joke in it, to tell stories in it, to mess up and laugh and try again. So next time you open your mouth and feel that old dusty phrase creeping in, stop, breathe, ask yourself, what would I say in my language? What's the real me want to say? Then find a way to say that, even if it's simple, even if it's not perfect, because that's the voice people want to hear, not your teachers, yours. So, you want to stop sounding like a textbook and start sounding like a human. Good. But how? How do you go from memorizing stiff phrases to actually speaking like you've lived in English all your life? Here's where things get uncomfortable and fun. Because you're going to have to do something you've probably been avoiding for years. Open your mouth. Not just to yawn while watching Netflix, but to speak. Out loud. Every day. And yes, it's going to feel weird. At first, let me tell you something about shadowing. No, it's not magic. No, it's not some secret technique that only geniuses use. It's basically being annoying, like a parrot that won't shut up. You hear something, you repeat it immediately with the same tone, the same rhythm, the same attitude, and you do it over and over until it feels natural, not until it's perfect, until it's yours. That's how you steal the language, not by studying it, but by living in it. And don't just repeat the words. Copy the vibe. If someone in a video says something funny, you laugh and say it like you mean it. If they're angry, you get angry too. Feel it. Act it. English isn't just words. It's energy. It's the way your voice rises when you're excited or drops when you're tired. If you speak flat, you sound flat. No one listens to flat. They listen to life. Here's another thing. Stop learning English from people who don't use it to live. Your grammar book doesn't live in London. Your exam paper doesn't go grocery shopping in New York. People do. So start listening to them. Watch vlogs. Listen to podcasts where people are just being people, not teachers. Pick up the way they talk when they're not thinking about talking. That's the gold. That's the English you want. And yes, record yourself. I know you hate your voice. Join the club. But you need to hear it. You need to hear how you sound when you're not thinking. Because that's the real you. And guess what? It's probably better than you think. Or worse. Either way, now you know. And you can fix it. Also, can we talk about small talk? You hate it. I know. You think it's pointless. But small talk is where real English lives. It's not about the weather. It's about connection. It's about being able to say, man, today's been crazy, and having someone nod and go, tell me about it. That's English. That's life. Stop running from it. Start playing with it. You don't need to be perfect. You need to be present. You need to show up with your broken sentences and your weird pronunciation and your doubts, and just speak. Just say something. Anything. Because every time you do, you get a little better. A little stronger. A little more you. And here's the last thing I'll say. Don't wait for the right moment. It's not coming. The right moment is now. The right sentence is the one you're about to say, even if it's wrong, especially if it's wrong, because wrong is real. Wrong is alive. Wrong is how you learn. So stop hiding behind grammar. Stop waiting to be perfect. Speak loudly, messily, every single day. Talk to yourself. Talk to your cat. Talk to the mirror. Talk to anyone who'll listen. And if no one's listening, talk anyway, because your voice matters, even if it shakes. Let's wrap this up. You've been quiet long enough, hiding behind perfect grammar long enough, worrying about sounding wrong long enough. And for what? What did it get you? Safe? Comfortable? Maybe. But fluent? No. Fluent doesn't come from silence. It comes from trying, from speaking, from being brave when it's easier to stay small. So here's the deal. You're done waiting. You're done thinking about English like it's some monster under your bed. It's just words. Words that you can use. Words that you need to use if you want to get anywhere. You've got everything you need right now. No more excuses. No more I'll start tomorrow. Tomorrow's tired of waiting for you. Do it today. Open your mouth. Say something. Anything. Wrong? Fine. Ugly? Who cares? Real? Yes. And that's what matters, because every time you speak, you're not just practicing. You're proving to yourself that you're not scared anymore. Not scared of English. Not scared of failing. Not scared of being seen trying. So go on. Drop the script. Say it messy. Say it loud. Say it now. And if you need a sign, this is it. You're ready. Not perfect, but ready. Because English doesn't need you to be perfect. It needs you to be present and alive and human. See you next time. And no, don't just listen. Speak, because you've got something to say. And it's about damn time you said it.